Welcome to my review of My True Ancestry DNA test. In order to understand My True Ancestry, you have to know what a haplogroup is. A haplogroup is ancient DNA, and it can be from tens of thousands to hundreds of thousands of years old. And so haplogroups are one way that scientists study ancient migrations. Each haplogroup is basically an ancient ancestor, and they're represented by different letters. It gets kind of confusing because they don't always go in alphabetical order chronologically in time, and they're constantly updating and renaming them. Okay, so Y-DNA is specifically only passed from father to son, and they do this by genetic mutations that are common to an ancestral line. mtDNA is passed from the mother to all the children, both male and female, and it is based on your mitochondrial DNA. Each cell in our body has a mitochondria, which is an ancient remnant of a symbiotic bacteria. Here is an example of my Y-DNA matches. So this means these were based on male samples that I matched to. Here you see it says Persian royalty. That was a shocker. And also Kohanim Jew. Like, they literally say I'm a descendant of Aaron. How do they know that? I don't know how they can prove biblical characters, but that's what they say. And here you can see some of my mtDNA matches. The software was running really slow, and so normally you can click on each one of these, and it'll show you which samples or mummies are specifically related to that royal house. A subclade is just a branch of a haplogroup. So the longer the string of letters and numbers is, it just means that it's closer in time. If you stay and watch all the way to the end, you'll see that I include a video that I made about Clan Percival and their Y-DNA. So within My True Ancestry, you have sample matches and you have deep dive matches. A sample match means you're related through the haplogroups. Okay, so your common ancestor could be from thousands of years ago. You are very, very distantly related. Here I'm going to show you my top 100 samples, and the results are based on your samples, not on your entire ethnicity. So this is my number one match out of their whole database from Italy from 600 AD. And if you click on the info button, it'll give you all kinds of details. So they know, like from the study, if it's a man or a woman. Here is my number 8 match from Rome, 431 AD. Hungarian conqueror, Carlos III. These are all AI generated art that they have. They have like a bunch of AI art features that you can pay for extra as an add-on. My 13th top sample from medieval Mongolia. And a lot of my samples say that I'm the top 99% match versus all users, especially the Asian ones. So I guess that means that not as many Asians are using this app, is what that means. Okay, so now I'm going to scroll through my top 100 matches, and you'll notice that most of them are from Rakoczy Falva, which is named after the Prince of Transylvania, Prince Rakoczy. He was fighting the Habsburgs. It was a pretty intense story. But so, anyways, at one point, I think he was a prisoner of war. I don't remember the whole thing. Anyways, he goes and sends his son to go live with the Saint Germains in Schleswig-Holstein, Prussia. And his son comes to be known as Count Saint Germain, whom has all those stories about how he was an alchemist that turned lead into gold, and so he always had money. Well, he always had money since birth. He was a like super rich prince. Here we go with King Ladislaus. And then, like, you guys, this is from 22,000 years ago from Iberia, Spain. A deep dive results means that you are definitely related, and they are probably your ancestor. And I'm going to show you a quick video of some of mine. And it shows you on there which DNA segments you share. You can tell some of these are definitely AI. Like, she looks super weird. This map, the Royal Ties Globe, is an example of my deep dive matches to royal houses of Europe. And the more you pay, the more matches you get. At first, I only had 2 matches, Clan Weir and Clan Armstrong. Okay, so My True Ancestry says that they have 10,000 plus samples, which is either a mummy or like some bones they dug up from an archaeological dig. So they don't have all the ethnicities represented. Okay, so for example, I'm half Hawaiian. There are little to no samples from the Pacific. Um, there are a few from Easter Island, I think a couple from Tonga. Um, but even like the South Pacific is not represented very well. Here's an example of my ancient ethnicity breakdown. The highest one is Avar, which isn't surprising because they just uploaded like a load of Hungarian samples. And then you can see on there also Jamon, which is very ancient Japanese. What else is on there? Saka. Saka is the tribe of Buddha. Because this test is based on how many samples you pay for out of their database, every time they update the database, your results can change. So now I'm going to get into some more of the features. I really like this castles feature that they have. So here they tell you which castle you're related to, what royal house it is. They used to have it where they would show you which ones were sample matches, which ones were deep dives, and they would specify which ones were your ancestors. They kind of changed it up now. They're like all mixed together, and you basically have to pay more if you want to see more. It used to say I was a descendant of Ramses, but he got bumped off my list. This is kind of a fun tool to dig around through. Your Royal House Explorer and Scottish Clan Explorer. Um, I feel like they match me to like every Scottish clan. Here's an example of all of the houses and clans that they have in their database. This is what they have DNA for. It's quite a long list, but very Scottish centric. They currently have 530 royal houses in their database. Because the results change, one thing you want to do is you want to screenshot things. Um, So, for example, it used to say I was descended from Ramses, but when I paid for more samples, he got moved off the list. Okay, another example is King Ladislaus and Bela III. At first, it only said I was related to Bela III, which I knew I was related to both of them. Once I paid for more, then it said I was related to both. Another con is it's just really slow. A lot of the features take a really long time to load, and the phone version is not good. I don't recommend it. So you really want to have a desktop with a large screen. King Ladislaus I is my 31st great grandfather on paper, and here he is my match number 384. And I'll do a whole video about how I'm related to the Arpad dynasty in the future. So here they say that they're testing you against Vlad Dracula, but they're not. They're testing you against House Cornelius, whom were related to him. The maps are pretty cool. This one says I have matches from Africa going back like 500 BC all the way to the 1800s. But they don't give you all the information unless you pay more. So here I'm showing you all the different historical maps that they have. I recommend if you're going to spend money, the first thing you should buy is the Royal Maps upgrade, because then you get all the Royal Maps automatically. Otherwise, it might not show you what royal houses you're actually related to, especially in the free version and like the first tiers. So black on my list means I don't have any matches. Um, and purple means that they're locked. So you have to pay more, which the ones that are locked for me are the royal maps. Here we have some more matches based on your deep dives from locations. I was pretty stoked to see that I matched a sample from the Apollo Delphi Temple in Greece. And I was really shocked to learn I'm descended from Fa'ali Khan Qajar. So he had like 5,000 grandkids, according to some versions, and they all got kicked out of Persia. They were actually Turks. Many fled to America and changed their names. I found this out from a lady on social media who also matched to him. And this was according to her research. The craziest story I heard about him was that he had this water slide that all his concubines would like slide down naked every morning. He's like a Genghis Khan of Persia. And finally, I wanted to show you my map of America, which is pretty cool because none of these samples are on my 400 list. So I can't get any information about any of these until I pay more. Part of the reason I find this so fascinating is because I am half Hawaiian. So that means that Hawaiians were either breeding with the Americas like far earlier than we know, or my European ancestors in America mated with indigenous. Thank you so much. If you made it to the end of this video, please go ahead and hit the like button and subscribe. You can find me on Substack, My Crazy Family Tree. You can also find me on YouTube. Please enjoy this little video I made about House Percival. This is Kamaka Pahinui, the Dark Historian of the Pacific.